What's up, guys? MST here. Today we'll be going over the new ranked changes that just dropped. We're gonna go over them and we're gonna see what we think about all this. All right. So for everybody that didn't know, there is an announcement that came on Twitter from an official Pokemon Pocket source that is detailing what changes they're planning to make to the ranked system. Starting not the season that starts in a few days, but starting in late June. So not the season that's coming up, but the season after, and also in late July. So basically, they're gonna skip a season, do some changes, and then the season after they're gonna do some more changes. So yeah, perfect, Luke. Thank you. So let's go over the changes here, all right? So this is the announcement. We are planning the following updates to provide you with a more enjoyable experience, all right? So starting with the season starting in late June, okay? So not the season that's coming up, the season after. Consecutive win bonuses will also be added to the Hyper Ball and Master Ball ranks. All right. After that, starting with the season starting in late July, it will no longer be possible to be demoted from Master Ball rank to Hyper Ball rank, or from Hyper Ball rank to Super Ball rank during the season. So Super Ball for English speakers is Great Ball. All right. There are no plans to change the rank demotion at the start of the season. Perfect. Okay, so let's go over each and every single point one by one. So the first one, so they're saying that starting in late June, consecutive win bonus will be added to Hyper Ball and Master Ball. So Hyper Ball is Ultra Ball. So what do we think about this? Honestly, I'm 100% on board, like 200% on board with the changes to Ultra Ball, because Ultra Ball felt like extremely grindy. There was no need for it to be that long to go from Ultra Ball 1 to Master Ball. And adding these win streaks are actually going to get people more motivated to reach Master Ball. So I think the Ultra Ball changes A1, like 100% agreed. It's gonna make the game less grindy for the people that don't have that much time to put into the game, but they still enjoy it. So that people don't feel left out, don't feel like they can never get that Master Ball emblem. So honestly, like the Ultra Ball changes, perfect. Like we've been asking for this. They listened, and big shout out to Dina for implementing this change. Now, they're also adding a consecutive win bonus to Master Ball, and here's where things get tricky. All right, here's where things get tricky. Like first of all, we don't really know what these consecutive win bonuses are going to be, and we don't know if they're going to be the same as the ones that are now in Great Ball, right? Like we don't know if they're gonna implement the same system or a different system. So we're still like navigating without the full information, but we're gonna come back to this because we prepped something to kind of give you guys an idea of what could be, and we're gonna discuss if you guys think that this is the right thing to do or not. Let's go to the next point. Starting with the season starting in late July, it will no longer be possible to be demoted from Master Ball to Ultra Ball, or from Ultra Ball to Great Ball. Once again, A+, right? A lot of people just like play until they get Master Ball, and then they just drop out, and they say like, I'm not touching rank for the end of this until the end of the season because I just don't want to drop out. Like there's people that actually want to play more games when they get to Master Ball, because there's a huge difference between the regular queue and the Master Ball queue, right? Like if you're queuing in the regular queue, you're not gonna get the same quality of games than queuing in the Master Ball queue or in the ranked queue. And I'm sure there's people that would like to try out new decks, new cooks that they come up with in Master Ball, but they're just too afraid to D-rank. So this change is gonna let these people, play whatever they want once they reach Master Ball, try out new things. It not only does it increase like player retention, it also increases opportunity for creativity, I think it's gonna be great. You know, we already had like a super shifting meta in the past season, so I think this is gonna help people, you know, feel at ease to try new things and not be afraid of losing their Master Ball emblems. So once again, like A++, there was no reason why we were able to demote right after reaching Master Ball. So this is, once again, they show that they're listening to the community, right? They're doing the trading change. They haven't done it yet. They're doing the trading change, and now they're doing this, right? So it shows that they're listening. Okay, let's go back to, and then there's no other changes other than that. You know, people that reach a certain level on Master Ball, they're still going to start in Ultra Ball 4. You know, there's no change to that. Okay, now let's go back to the Hyper Ball and Master Ball ranks, okay? Sorry, let's go back to the win streaks and Master Ball. And just to like help you guys visualize what could be, I prepped a PowerPoint, all right? So let me get it up for you. Here we go. All right, boom. Okay, guys. All right, let's talk about a hypothetical situation, okay? Let's say we have Steve and Bob, okay? They're both Master Ball players, okay? They both have a 66% global win rate. Like, same, okay? And let's say Steve and Bob both decide to play 30 games of Pocket, all right? Let's say they like sit down and they're like, perfect, time to like grind some Pocket. They both play 30 games. They both have a 66% win rate. So what that means is after 30 games, they're gonna be 20-10, right? They both have a similar win rate. You know, if everything goes well, they're both gonna be 20-10 after 30 games. But now the difference is that Steve and Bob are playing two different decks, right? Steve is playing Alolan Executor, all right, with the Tropical Hammer coin flip, right? And Bob is playing like, you know, good old consistent Dark Tina. All right. So obviously, you know, things don't go the same for both players, right? So what happens is Steve loses his first 10 games, right? He flips all tails on the Alolan Executor. He loses the first 10 games. And then after that, he flips all heads and then wins the next 20. All right. What a Chad. What a Chad. All right. The coin flip god. And then Bob obviously, you know, he's playing Dark Tina. So Bob wins 2, loses 1, wins 2, loses 1, right? But he still gets to the 2010, right? They both reach 2010 in the same amount of games. All right. So with this being said, let's make a let's pretend that this is how the win streak works, okay? Assuming the first win is always 10 points, like it is now, and that all subsequent win streak wins are plus 2 points, right? So 12 points, let's say, all right? So we're not even like considering like an incremental increase, right? We're not saying it's 10, 12, 14, 16. We're just saying it's 10, 12, and then 12 for each subsequent win streak win, right? So what happens to Steve and Bob, right? Well, Steve, obviously, he loses his first 10 games. He doesn't get any points for that. There's no loss streak negative. He wins the first game. He gets 10 points. And then he wins the next 19 games. And then, so in total, he gets 238 points. All right. Meanwhile, Bob, right? He wins like, he still wins 20 games, but he wins one, 2, and then he loses 1. So he gets 10, 12, and then he loses, right? So he has 10 games where he gets 10 points, and he has another 10 games where he gets 12 points. Well, what happens is that Bob ends up with 220 points, right? He ends up with 18 points less than Steve, right? Almost like 2 whole games, where in fact they both played 30 games and they both have, you know, the 66% win rate, right? So what do you guys think of this? Do you agree that Steve should have more points, right? Even though they both have the same win rate, they both play the same amount of games, right? So like if you're asking me, I actually have 2 opinions on this, okay? I have 2 opinions on this. If you're asking me as a competitor, you know, as like somebody that like wants to grind ladder, and you know, somebody that like, you know, is trying to get like top 100 and all that, right? Like, I don't think that this should be, I don't think it should be like this, right? Bob won't lose 10. Yes, Bob loses 10 for each loss, but so does Steve. Steve lost 10 at first. So they both both of their records are 20-10. All right? But it's just that Steve gets more points because he wins 20 in a row after losing 10 initially. All right? So yeah. So here's the, so honestly, like if like we're once again, we say that like we don't actually know what the system is going to look like, but just having like a +2 point for every win in a win streak already makes it so that, you know, decks like a lone executor, where you can get like crazy streaks just from rolling heads, reward you more, right? So yeah, as a competitor, I don't think it should be like this. I think both players should be rewarded. If both players have the same win rate and play the same amount of games, they should have the same amount of points, right? And like, I get you guys are saying, yeah, but like 20 win rate is like so crazy. That's fine, but like what I'm trying to define is that like it's still not fair. Even if it's a 5 win streak or a 10 win streak, like it can still create a difference in points, right? It's not crazy. It's 18 points over 30 games. But like, yeah, I don't think Master Ball should be like this. I think Master Ball, the way it was, you know, 10-10, you know, 10 when you win, 10 when you lose, like it made sense. It made sense. A lot of like, and you saw that like a lot of people reached 1450 and they had a hard time after that, because yes, it's a punishing system, but it's fair. It's fair, you know, like people that have the same win rate and that play the same amount of games, they get the same amount of points. So yeah, so that's my opinion as a competitor, right? As like somebody that wants to grind ladder, that's my opinion. Now, as a content creator, I'm like, hell yeah, like yeah, I'm down for win streaks and Master Ball. Like sure, like why would I not want to like make more shorts when I reach like 10 win streak? Like sure, like that's fine, you know, like as a content creator, like yes, it creates like hype moments, right? But like to all the people, like I know the Japanese community is up in arms kind of like for it, right? Is up in arms. Like I kind of agree with them that I don't know, it just doesn't, like why would different players be rewarded differently if they have the same win rate and they play the same amount of games? And that's just my take on it. So how could this, and once again guys, this isn't incremental, right? Imagine it was 2 points for the first win in the win streak, and then 4, and then 6. The difference would be even larger, right? If it was +2 points for every win until like 20, the difference between Steve and Bob would be even larger, assuming they play the same amount of games. So yeah, like once again I want to say I think this in Ultra Ball is perfect. Like this in Ultra Ball 100%. Like we need a win streak system in Ultra Ball to keep people engaged, to encourage people to, you know, like to encourage people to reach their goal of playing in a Master Ball, and then, you know, getting creative once they reach that. So like win streaks outside of Master Ball 100%, no D-ranking 100%. Win streaks in Master Ball, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with being lucky. I just don't think it should. I just don't think that players with the same win rate and the same amount of games should have different amount of points. That's it. That's the base. Like I feel like people should be rewarded the same, independently of like the order in which they win their games. All right, that's all I'm saying. People should be rewarded the same if they win the same amount of games in the same amount of time, and it doesn't, like the order shouldn't influence like who gets more points or not, right? But Nasir's comment, can somebody repaste it? The current system rewards people who have infinite time to play. Win streaks will help more skilled players who have less time to play. Not really. Because think about it. Somebody that has like a 70% win rate, like they don't need to play a bunch of games. Like, for example, like let's say there's a guy who has a 52% win rate. He plays 1,000 games. He's probably going to end up in the same spot as the guy that has a 70% win rate and that played like, 200 games. So I think the system that was in place, yes, obviously, like you can grind that out. You can grind out the +10, -10 if you have a 52% win rate, but it still rewarded people that had a super high win rate. Like, it still rewarded players with a 70% win rate, right? So, yeah. So anyways, that's my take. That's my take. Yeah. And once again, guys, like, I took like the example. I took the example of like, like the most absurd example just to like show you that there is a difference. But like, once again, the difference is minimal in real life. But it's the concept, right? It's the concept. Do you or do you not agree that both players should have similar points if they play the same amount of games and win the same amount of games?